The French macaroon. It's a cookie that everyone loves, but can be intimidating to try at home. First time I looked at a tutorial, I almost gave up. It looked way too complicated. So I decided to try my own research. And I'm happy to report, making macaroons can be easier than you think, if you know which steps are important and which ones you can skip. So let's get started. The first thing you'll need to do is prepare your baking surface. Some people use silicone mats with templates, and honestly, that's my favorite way of baking macaroons. But if you don't have a macaroon mat, you can use a cookie sheet covered in parchment. You want to place a template under the parchment so that the cookies are uniform. If you do this though, don't forget to slip the paper templates out from under the parchment before baking. I'll link my PDF template for making 1.5-inch macaroons in the comments of this video. Now it's time to measure out the dry ingredients. You'll need 210 grams of powdered sugar. Yes, it's a pain to use a scale if you're not used to it, but trust me, this step is critical. Then measure out 125 grams of almond meal. Sometimes it's called almond flour. Next, dump both the powdered sugar and the almond meal into a food processor and blend for a couple of minutes. This helps to ensure that the mixture is smooth and doesn't have any obvious clumps. Time to whip the egg whites. Here's another shortcut for you. You can just dump in the egg whites, sugar, and food coloring all at once. Most tutorials will have you add the egg whites till foamy, and then add the sugar and mix it in, and then add the food coloring. This is totally unnecessary. One thing to note is that you definitely want to use gel food coloring. I'm using one from Wilton that's a liquid gel. This is because your liquid food colors that you get from the market make your egg whites too liquidy, and they tend to brown in the oven. No one wants a perfectly pink macaroon with brown edges. Also note that when you add color to macaroons, go a couple of shades darker than what you want. That's because when the egg whites foam up and when the cookies bake, they tend to lose a little bit of color. Let the egg whites whip, paying attention to the changes that occur. They should start to lighten and get creamy. Check ever so often to see if they are to the stiff peak stage. Nope, still a little bit too soft. Now you can whip them too long. As you'll see, I just did. This is a bit too stiff, which will make for a more brittle cookie. But it's not the end of the world. And yes, we've already established I'm lazy, so these are going to work for us. Moving on. So now we incorporate the almond meal sugar mixture into the egg white mixture. This is another critical part of making macaroons. We want the eggs and the almonds to come together, but we don't want all that beautiful air that we just whipped in to escape. So instead of stirring, we need to gently fold the almond mixture into the egg whites. I like to hold the bowl kind of on its side and just scrape the sides and then fold the batter on the top. So, like I said, this process is critical and you have to really pay attention. You can fold too much, letting out too much air, and it'll be too runny. You want to keep folding the batter until it starts to smooth out just a bit, and to where it can slowly slip off the spatula, kind of like hot lava. If you don't mix it enough, the shells will crack, but if you overmix it, then it becomes too runny for the cookies to set up. Fill a pastry bag with a larger circular tip. I like to twist the end a bit to keep the batter from running out when filling the bag. I also like to place the pastry bag in a cup to help keep it open while I fill. To pipe the macaroon shells, hold the bag straight up and gently squeeze until the batter fills almost the whole template circle. Then slowly release up and out. This might take a bit of practice, but it does get easier, I promise. Don't worry about them being perfect. They will settle a bit. Also, once you sandwich the shells together, you won't notice any slight imperfections. Another critical step is whacking the trays on the counter. That's right, you get to whack them. This does two things. One, it helps to release any air bubbles that might be trapped in your cookies, and two, it helps even out the cookies a bit. Now it's time to let your macaroons rest. Let them sit for 20 to 30 minutes on your countertop and form a skin on them. It's a critical step. That's because the skin keeps the cookies from spreading during the baking process. You want your macaroons to puff up, not spread out. Bake at 300 degrees for about 13 minutes. When you remove them from the oven, let them cool before peeling them off your silicone mat or parchment paper. Hot macaroons are fragile, but they should be easy to remove once cooled. Notice the trademark puffy edges of these macaroons. These are called feet, and this is exactly what you want. Now it's time for my other favorite part, marrying the macaroons. Pair them up, matching them by size and shape. Then, fill a pastry bag with your favorite filling. This one's a homemade buttercream. Swirl it on one side of the macaroon and gently sandwich the pair together. And there you have it, the lazy girl's guide to the perfect little French macaroon. Give it a try. They always impress at parties and dinners, and they also make a great gift. Until next time, I'm Lori, and this is Lori Garcia Studios. Bon appetit!